boy Midge. Got to throw the specs on. A little bright out here today. Nice AM sun. SUN sun. Yo, I hope everybody can hear me clearly. If not, we're going to fix that in just 1 second. I got to take a commercial break. Wait for some of y'all to get on here so y'all can take a view at some things real quick before I come back. All right, we're coming back. We're coming back in the studio. See who's on here. Oh, we got a few folks on here. What's up? All right. I had to go break out the headphones, plug and play, so y'all can hear me a little bit better. I got an echo in here or out here. So give me 1 second while my production team gets us situated. My audio visual guys trying to get this sorted out for you so we can go live. How's everybody doing? Be good if everybody's doing swell. We used to say swell, right? You know. Now we say well because we're so concerned about our health and everything. Let's see here. I just only have a few minutes today to kind of get into this. So I hope we got enough time to get this taken care of today. See if I can situate this a little. Can you guys hear me? You guys hear me okay? Okay, you heard me because you're talking about swell over there. Like Leave It to Beaver. Wally and the Beeve. Swell, Wally. All right, so you over here, it be getting hot. Y'all crying about it's hot over there. I've been hearing. Y'all don't know no hot until you come over Southeast Asia. This just wake up in the morning, come outside, start sweating kind of hot. But anyway, all right, let's get into it real quick. I ain't got but a few clicks on the clock to update you guys. All right, so last live I was talking about BRICS, BRICS, which is the, if you didn't know, the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, plus a whole bunch of other countries that's waiting for their applications to go through to join the BRICS block. And this is not to alarm you or to scare you or nothing. You know, I'm all just trying to put the information out there so you know how to move, or so you can start gathering how to move, you know, if you haven't already started moving. And they ramping up activity as far as putting their new system into place. What does that mean for people around the world? Well, it could mean good and bad or bad and good for everybody. We don't really know what exactly can happen. So, you know, if you're listening to me and we, you know, you're somewhere in Southeast Asia or South America or whatever, it don't mean just because you're out of America, all's well, you know, you're just safe or whatever. Like I told y'all, ain't no place on the earth, EURF, safe, nowhere. It's all about your frame of mind. It's all about what you're projecting into this. I'm not going to use certain terms because people go over people's head. Into this matrix, y'all know that one. So it's all about what you're injecting, what you're projecting, injecting, and then what you're receiving, and what you put out there for others to receive. is what you line your environment up to produce for you. So I've been telling y'all that because that's a real thing, even though you don't think so. Everything you keep thinking about is what you eventually will produce in some form or fashion. So with this BRICS thing, what they're doing, of course, is got their own basket of currencies or currencies backed by possible like gold, or it might not even be backed by physical gold. It might be backed by gold markets. I don't know what it's backed by. Whatever it is, that they playing the big boy game. But it's these countries against primarily Europe and America, point blank. Them, that's the crosshairs is on America, is on Europe. So I don't know if y'all know, but I forget which country in Africa, they have a pipeline coming through there. They have one coming through there, gigantic one. And that oil goes from Africa to Europe. So y'all know Europe is right there in Africa, right? You know the maps, the Mercator map system is was designed by a bunch of dudes that are the dudes of the dudes that are in these offices, high offices now. So their family, their bloodlines have produced all of the things that we think are real tangible things out there in the world somewhere, even though we ain't went to go look at them and check them out for ourselves. So the way the maps read and the sizes of countries and stuff is all disproportionate to probably the actual truth. I'm gonna get back into the BRICS thing, but I don't know who back then could have went so far up in the sky, outer space, if there is such a thing, and took a picture of the whole globe to get you the exact curves and cuts of each country perfectly. I don't know what kind of technology that is. They didn't let us in on how they got a snapshot of the whole planet from up somewhere in the air all the way down. Because when I'm in a plane at 30, 40,000 feet, I still can only see like little squares down there. I can't see the whole country we flying over. So you must have to be pretty high to get it. So anyway, my whole point was getting back to the BRICS. That was just a little extra, open your mind up as to how easy it is for them to dupe the world by telling you this or showing you pictures of this to program you to think it's like this, but really they over there doing that. Okay, so this makes you disbelieve everything that comes out later that they could be doing. It makes your mind, your subconscious like, that's not that important to me because that's over there. Y'all don't know, Africa could be right next door. China, Russia could be right next door. The only images we have is the ones they shown us how things look. So that's a little insight on, don't think that everything is like it is just because that's how you got to realize you've been programmed to believe that's how these things are. This thing with this BRICS thing ain't really a program. BRICS is an economic bloc. So they fighting a war right now economically with money, with assets, with commodities, all kinds. They've been doing that. Of course, United States has been doing that for a long time. And that's how they became the world reserve currency. Primarily with making a deal with Saudi Arabia and OPEC and them, the oil cartel in Africa, not the Middle East, over in Africa. That's Africa too. Making a deal with them back in, what was it, 1940 something. I'm rusty on the dates and all the actual, but back in those days, 1940-ish, making that deal with OPEC to say, we will protect your country, your nation that don't yet have a full-fledged military popping yet. We will protect you as long as you make everybody buy oil in dollars. That's how America became the world reserve currency, by putting a deal together. They basically did a Donald Trump, a deal maker. They put the deal together. This stuff with countries is contracts, y'all. It's contracts. It's business. It's profits. It has nothing to do with that's just like the mob. Ain't nothing personal, just business, okay? So you got to pay attention to think. You got to start wrapping your thoughts around, like saying stuff like, "Damn, Gina, is this really the opposite of what I was taught?" It's possible. It's possible that everything you've been trained to perceive as real is almost 50% of the opposite of how it really is. That's probably kind of an accurate, opinionated statement I just made. Like 50% of what you think is some actual thing that you think so hard on it, and it becomes a residual activity in your life. You actually breathe life into it to make it a real thing in your life using your mind power, using your belief power. That's mental. That's mind power, and you creating like spiritual entities all around you by believing things that may or may not be real. So with the BRICS thing, I think it's August 22nd. Wait, that's like tomorrow over here. They about to, let me see. Oh, there it is. Hold, somebody just put it up. Yep, Nation Summit meeting, Johannesburg, South Africa. Tomorrow. There it is. There it is. Y'all keeping up with it. Somebody just put it on the feed. They about to talk about this stuff. And I'm quite sure the talk isn't going to be like, yo, what can we do to, they're going to be talking like, okay, yeah, let's see. Now it's time to move part C behind part B so we can have ABC. They already got the system set up. They've been already testing this and doing this. I think it's just all about strategically seeing which nations are going to be this, that, and the other in Africa, Russia, China, India. Who's going to be the major players? You know, they always got to wrestle around for who exactly is the top. That's what they always do. Who's the top? Because you got a group of nations coming together to get away from the dollar and all of the bullying and all of the colonialism stuff that the America's been doing to a whole bunch of nations for a whole bunch of time. You know, they pulling away from it. So when that happens, you know, those dollars have to come back to America. So y'all know what happens if that happens, right? If a whole bunch of dollars flood into America from nations that don't want them anymore, they send them back in mass. So here's the example. You have one diamond, two diamonds on the table in the jewelry store with a price tag of $50,000 each diamond. But if you go get the whole box of diamonds they really got back there in the safe and dump them all out there on the counter with them other two diamonds, them two diamonds just become like all the rest of the diamonds. Now they're not worth as much. That's what's going to happen with the money stuff. So I've been broadcasting this stuff in some of my lives over time, over this last year. Like I was telling y'all last year, invest with me, do this with the survival boot camp. Come invest some money in that and get yourself trained up, because in a minute you got 100,000, it's gonna be looking like 50,000. You got 50, it's gonna turn into 25, and that's what I meant with inflation, which means that's the poor man's word for. Actually, that's the rich people's word for the money's not worth nothing no more. That's why they say inflation, to trick the masses into believing. Or there's some other situation, you know, going into a war, that's what's caused it. You know, that's some BS right there. That's a trick word for your dollar burning up. Your money is becoming less valuable. They can't just tell you, oh, the reason why you go to the store, everything's higher. No, that's the trick. You think it's higher. No, your money is worth less. It's like a magician. Don't show you what's in this hand until you looking at this hand, and then boom, the trick come out of the other hand. So y'all got to start looking at stuff in 360 and start getting a better observation view of what's going on, and not like as in a threat to humanity. Somewhat, it's going to be it is a downturn of some sort. Uh, when your economy of your household gets depleted, that's a downturn. So you better start exercising your mindset now and learning how to do with less, learning how to do with, you can learn how to do with less, learn how to do with more. It's your choice, your option. But if you're in that category where you think everything is less and your glass is half empty instead of half full, you got to start learning how to deal with less. If you like me, you're going to be like, oh, that's it? Okay. Well, it's still going to be some money all up on the table somewhere. It's going to be something out there for me to profit on and to go positive on. So that's what I'm looking for. Uh, the 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 best thing I could tell you about um, all of this stuff is that you still have to factor in your mindset creating some of this environmental stuff that's going on. Don't alienate yourself and think, oh, because I'm in America, it's coming and that's it. It might come for everybody else, but it ain't coming for me. Not like that. I might experience a little something, but I'm already fashioning my mindset to thrive. So I don't give a crap about Vietnam's GDP or America's GDP. This is the up on the down of the story right here. This is the up part. So don't think that, oh, at the end of the day, you just sitting there and you're subject to every little whim of some government agency or what they're doing in the elections and all. No, you ain't got to participate. You don't have to participate. You can opt out. You'll see what they're really doing. And I'm going into this metaphysical world real quick. What they really doing is locking down minds. Say the lockdowns, they got me staying in the house, blah, blah, blah. No, they got your thoughts locked down. See, your body, your physical body is one apparatus. But this right here, the supercomputer, the all, the one allness of the alls, all the collective alls together is a lot of alls, ALL. That's a lot of alls. But if they can separate a lot of these minds into following their new program, that's how much more power they have to institute those types of controls on people. So you gotta realize that this is what's going on. It ain't no, in one hand, you get yourself situated for life. That's what life is about. So if you're going to experience pleasant things in this life, you would have to be going to experience pleasant things. You don't get to experience pleasant things and you don't practice being in pleasant environments. Though they want you to be continually in a disrupted environment so that they can control the narrative. If you're happy and you're doing great up here, then they can't get to you. They might be able to, throw a little dirt on your shoulder, you brush it off your shoulder and keep it moving. But they know most people are weak and they know most people are gonna follow suit. And if they push hard enough and scare you, you're gonna jump in line. That's what they betting on. That's what all the testing and all of the experiments have been about is which way are people gonna move when we do this? Which way they gonna move when we do that? A lot of the stuff you see on the news been beta testing a whole society of people to see which groups do what, and then we catalog and we diagram, and they know exactly which way to push the buttons and which buttons to push to make you move. So a lot of this is about that. But getting back to the BRICS thing, y'all do some research. This is the time. I came to tell you this. This is not the time to be all whimpering and, oh, this is it, and the end is near. No, this is the time, probably the greatest time in human history to get rich. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, you need God first, and that none of those, the wealth doesn't matter because, what is it for a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? That statement right there is kind of like a cop-out statement to me, because it's not about gaining the whole world. Who can do that? That's those less than 1% people trying to do that. Me and you trying to eat good. Me and you trying to make sure we pay the landlord or buy our house with cash or not have no payments and live a life that we want to live, right? So ain't nobody trying to gain the whole world. Don't think that getting wealthy or rich is gaining the whole world and then cross contaminate that with like any religious text and think that that's a bad thing. That's the whole point, is so that you always feel like, oh, it's a cop out, because I'll use that statement when I can't attain those riches or that wealth stuff. Wealth is a frame of mind. It's not even the physical. Money is junk. Gold is metal out of the ground. It's nothing you can eat, really. If you put it on your teeth to decorate it, it'll rot your teeth out anyway. So it's not even a tangible thing. It's just a thing that people had created into some thing that has some kind of form of value now. But it's not in itself inherently some valuable commodity. It's not more valuable than food or water. That's for sure. Nothing on the planet is actually more valuable than that. So while they got you looking at the gold and the silver and this, that, and the other, they buying up all the farms, buying up all the fruit places and yada, yada, yada to control it for the next wave they got coming. So the whole point I think I'm trying to make is that you actually can be looking at this as a glass half full or half empty. I look at it half full all the time. My glass is coming up. I'm not looking at it half empty. And I'm not talking about, because you got some money in the bank right now. No, I'm talking about your mindset. Half empty, half full. You need to figure out which one you is. Are you a half fuller or you a half emptier? Because a half full person mentality will be that, I'm coming up. I don't care what's going on out there. They got tanks and everything blasting away on the street. I'm about to come up. I might have to duck and dodge this bullet here and there, but I'm coming up. I ain't playing with y'all. You got to figure out which position you need to take on this, because the BRICS nations and United States of America, South America, Russia, whoever, they already taken their position. You hearing all this World War III stuff popping off, right? Wars and rumors of wars. Yeah, they do this every 70, 100 years, like clockwork. This is not nothing new to them. This is like, the contracts are up. We got to go to war. Y'all know the routine. Everybody get shit together. It's time to fight. We got to fight it out again for the minds of the people. No different than they did with the Crusades, to put in the minds of the people what was the right religious route to go. If you controlled the religion back then, you controlled the masses. Now, if you control the money, you control the masses. So these countries are forming alliances like never before. America's alienating itself further and further into a dark, deep hole. The only thing they can do is start pushing buttons and blowing stuff up. So you got to figure out where you at in this mix. Now, if you, the moral to the story is, if you don't like where you at, move. Y'all know I'm setting up some stuff where I can consult you how to, navigate to another landmass, Southeast Asia, where you want to go. This is a disclaimer. I'm not a professional logistics, human moving company or anything. I do what I do. And if you see I'm doing something that you would like to do, then I can help you do it too. You're going to pay for it, but I'm going to help you do it. I've been for free telling you all this information so you can get your mind straight. But at some point, you're going to have to share the good energy back. It's got to come back to me. How do I have to do that? You have to pay me, for my time. My time is more valuable than the money you could pay me with or the digital currency you could send in my PayPal account, for damn sure. But you're going to have to at least pay that. So I'm going to be setting up some stuff where, I can consult people, especially this region I'm in. You could get set up here, start a business, buy your property. I'll show you how to do that. There's some legal, things over here you got to navigate through. That's why you need a guide to assist you with how this stuff flows over here. But you can relocate into another area. It's a lot more peaceful, a lot more neutral. Neutrality is going to be the key word for where you move. Who neutral? who ain't out there starting a bunch of shit with other countries. That's the countries you want to be eyeing, Switzerland or something like that, or over here, you want to try to be somewhere where it's not like, and like I said, you can walk out your front door and slip on a banana peel anywhere in the world. So you just because you get up out of one spot don't mean something can't happen. But what it does mean, it might create like a peace of mind situation for you where, you feel like, now I'm free to live a little bit. Each minute counts. So if I get an extra week out of life in a peaceful place, I'm doing it. I'm gonna do everything I can to get that extra week, 2 weeks, 1 month, whatever it is, 50 years, whatever it is. So that BRICS thing, y'all look into it, research, do your own due diligence. It's happening. They're gonna be separating, breaking off from the dollar system, the SWIFT money, international money system. All that stuff might crumble away. So what y'all need to be doing is looking at what's coming. Where can I position myself, even with a small amount of money and resources? Where can I position myself to thrive through this? Y'all can partake in a lot of other economies if you do some due diligence and research. You can invest in nations in Africa. They coming up, oil and gas. Hey, the number one thing that's I don't even like the technology, but it doesn't matter what I like. But AI is going to be the next thing. So if you start investing in some AI companies right now, on stock market stuff, which will explode or implode, but once it does, it drops down. That's when you buy, and then you wait, and then that's when people get rich. So they do this all the time. Even if they flip the system over, you still have an opportunity to make a lot of money, create some generational wealth for your family, if you realize your glass is half full and not half empty. Okay, that's the key. This is the time where this is like probably the only time. It's going to be another 100 years or whatever from now. When they flip this thing over, that was your opportunity to make a lot of money, to get in a better position. While they faking you out with all this other stuff, a lot of people are giving up any thought of that and going straight to survival mode. So other people grabbing your bag. They grabbing your bag. That's why I told you got to be prepared to thrive, not survive. Just surviving that's kind of, it's a barbaric thing. I want to be thriving. If I got the choice to thrive versus survive, I'm going to thrive. If those options are available, I need to find them, locate them, lock them down, put them in my pocket, and run down the street with them. I'm not trying to just live any kind of way. If I don't have to, if I have a choice, I want to exercise that choice. If I don't have no options, I still got this option up here. This is my number one option. I can still frame it however I see it up here. And as long as I keep that strong, that's where I can produce things in my environment, even in a depleted environment, that still benefit me. Just because you ain't driving a Bentley down the street don't mean that you ain't thriving. If your mind is in a peaceful place all the time and you're not concerned about a lot of the things people are concerned about, that's step number one. Step number two, as you continue that process and build that momentum of thought, it starts producing stuff in these environments you in that are beneficial to you. So that's where you need to place your thoughts. Stop running from the stuff. Stop thinking they're coming to get you. If they are, they are. If they ain't, keep it moving. But don't let them steal your time and your opportunities by having you backed up against the wall, got the wood all boarded up on your front door and over your windows. They locking you down anyway. We got to protect my house. It ain't your house anyway. The bank still own that shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you ain't gonna come in here and take my stuff. It ain't your stuff. You're just using that stuff. You gotta stop thinking these ways that it's detrimental to your environment, and then it's gonna produce effects there that you ain't gonna want to have, and then you have to deal with it. So just know that this BRICS global currency thing about to switch over. What does that mean for the dollar? It's going to continue to go on a downward trajectory. So you might want to start making some moves, even if you only got $1,000, $5,000, 50, 5 million, whatever it is. You got to start making some other moves. Don't store all your stuff in one place. You need to investigate overseas markets right now. I know it sounds like a lot of work, but what ain't? What ain't? It's a lot of work being poor too. It's a lot of shucking and jiving you got to deal with when you poor, when you ain't got no resource. So whatever it takes to get yourself in a better position, you better do it. If you need a better health, you better start working out. If you need more money, you better start figuring out, finding the information that creates that for you. If you need better relationships, you got to go do all that stuff. It's a doer's game. It's not a looker and a watcher's game. So stop looking and watching and go do this stuff. I got to go. Let me get my baby girl to school. Public service announcement. Let me see something real quick. Where my specs at? This sun, hey, I'm sweating out here, getting these toxins out of my body. That's the way I look at it. A lot of people say, oh, it's too hot, I can't be out. I'm sweating, I'm getting the toxins out of my body. I ain't even tripping. It's working for me, not against me. Get my frequency up, getting some sun on the skin too. The melanin be grabbing that sunshine, converting it to vitamin D and all kind of stuff, all kind of signals coming through that sun, the S-U-N sun. Let's see what's going on. I don't have a lot of time to go through all this, but y'all in here look like y'all talking the right talk. I love this channel because I just got enough people in here that know what's going on. Y'all rolling with me, y'all been with me, and y'all know what's going on. I don't have to, I can say the thing I need to say and y'all getting it. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up. Queen BG, $1.99. $2 coming through to major. It's not the amount, it's the energy she just sent. You know what I'm saying? The energy. Receive. Look, I got that. I got that love energy right there. It's in my pocket. Walking down the street with that. Thank you so much. Yeah, everything, y'all got this. Don't let them get in your head, okay? Y'all stay in your own head. You're gonna find yourself, keep yourself straight. And then start investigating. Like I said, if you work a regular job and you trying to just pay your bills every when you ain't got much left, yo, you can create some extra funds by saying this first. I can do it. Whatever you got to do to get what you need to get, you go do it. Go put that hustle in, go get it. I don't care how old you are, how young you are. I took a bucket with some water in it one time, some soap and some microfiber towels. And I had to wash cars on the street back in the day to get myself back up. I mean, this is with a family. I had a family. I had kids in the house. So y'all can't tell me, oh, I can't do it, blah, blah, blah. Nigga, our brother man was out there with a bucket and some rags, hustling my way back up. Forget that song starting from the bottom down here. Nah, the real story starting from under the bottom to get back to the bottom, the top of the bottom. Then you go from there. If that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do. Y'all can't throw nothing at me that, you just fortunate majored up. Shit, I've been hustling my whole life. Physical hustle. I ain't talking about street hustle. I ain't talking about slanging and all that. I'm talking about straight up working. Like 5,000 Hispanic people. I've been out there hitting it. That's how I can go sit down a little bit right now. But it's still more to do, more to get. All right, y'all. I got to get out here. Get the girl to school. BG, Queen BG, I appreciate you. That love energy popping through. And then I'll do another live here in a minute. I got to get up out of here. Get back to, I'm going to show y'all the beautiful view so y'all can get some of this air over here. Hold up. Breathe that in, y'all. This ain't to, oh, Major's doing something. Nah, this is for y'all. Breathe that in. Fresh ocean air. Y'all breathe that in right now. I'm sending y'all love right here. That's my view. It's your view now. Visualize that for yourself. If that's what you want, visualize that every day. Start making moves till it produces itself. I'm sweating like a roasted pig right now. Drip, 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 drip. I got to get out of here. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all. I'll be back at y'all again. Thanks, Miss E, for narrating. And C. Marie, if you on there, I couldn't tell. But appreciate y'all. I'll holler back in a minute. Everybody, go and get this stuff done. That's it. I'll holler at y'all in a minute. Peace.